Places of Worship Act, Waqf Act. Now I challenge you, name one against Muslims. मैं अपना नाम बदल दूंगा.
30 seconds, please name.
No, you cannot go against the constitution, sir. We have got a constitution.
So then what are you crying about? If the constitution is being upheld, if the constitution is being followed, then where is the problem? Schemes targeting Muslims are happening, then what is your problem? Your problem is that you have to create a fake narrative. That is your problem, Abbas Haider. Let me get in Sabah Naqvi.
No,
1 minute.
Just 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds.
The lady first, Abbas Haider.
5 seconds.
Abbas Haider.
I'm just concerned.
I know you are very concerned, and your concerns have no basis. But let me get in Sabah Naqvi. Sabah Naqvi, the question here is, all this while, Prime Minister Modi has been branded as somebody who's anti-Muslim, he's Islamophobic, he's against the minorities. I just want to ask you, when he becomes the first Prime Minister in 34 years to build these kind of relationships with the Middle East, that you have 8 naval veterans being returned back to India after they were awarded a death sentence. Within 4 months of that death sentence, the verdict is overturned and our Indians come back home. The kind of relationship that has been built, the kind of progress that we see in terms of the engagement, not just on the social, on the diplomatic side, but reflecting even in things like RuPay card, UPI coming up, trade, investments that are coming in, and the kind of honor, the awards that have been given. Do you think Prime Minister Modi suddenly becomes a poster boy, though he's anti-Muslim at home, but becomes a poster boy of these Muslim countries?
This event was fascinating. It was very interesting, and it shows us the importance of India and to the UAE. But a little correction: there are Hindu temples in Dubai, so this might be in Abu Dhabi. I'll just make that correction, okay? So this could be the first and it's excellent because millions of Indians go there, work there. These are basically emirates. These are not democracies. And we Indians go to these countries. We are part of the economy, skilled and unskilled, and we should have our places of worship. So excellent that this has happened, and Prime Minister Modi's moment today has been significant. It has diplomatic contours, all of that. But I don't agree with the way you are framing it. He's everyone's Prime Minister. This is a moment. I don't see how you link this entirely with the certain history that has happened in India. Yeah. I disagree that you need a minister, but you certainly need representation. If democracy is about representation, then you have to have people just as we calculate. There should be Dalits, there should be OBCs. Then the Bharatiya Janata Party must now, taking the lead from the Prime Minister's words about unity, about uniting all community. And Nalin, don't give me the data from the Northeast. Let's look at the Hindi belt where the population of India lives. Let's look at UP, which has a 20% Muslim population. I know you're going to give me Northeastern data about saying there are Christians here and Christians there. I know all that. I've covered the BJP for years. But let me just say this. So, democracy demands representation. I think we as Indians are watching this, and we would request the Prime Minister to extend this principle to all Indians, so that people within his party and ideological parivar do not actually bring down mosques, as one has happened. It has happened frequently in India. Mosques have been attacked, madrasas have been attacked. There are minority children who are homeless, not far from where I am. So all of that has also happened recently, and I speak of the without due process. This case is now in the court. The court has demanded that the Delhi Development Authority explain how a 600-year-old mosque was demolished without due process. In the process, little orphan Muslim children were rendered homeless. This happened not far from where many of us live in South Delhi. All these are little things that are happening. I still think it's a fascinating thing that's happened. The audience there is Indian. It is Indian Hindus and Indian Muslims. It is Indian workers who go there and work there.
Do you think, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, when Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi was a minister in the Modi government, do you remember anybody coming out and complimenting him that despite wearing his Hindu credentials on his sleeves, he has a Muslim minister? But now that there isn't one over the last, I think, couple of years, there is such a song and dance about the fact that there is no Muslim representation. And do you think not having a Muslim representative in the cabinet has actually skewed work done for the minorities?
Not at all. If you remember, with Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and even before him, Shahnawaz Hussain, do you remember the kind of taunts they used to get? Bike hue Musalman and all kinds of nonsense that they used to get thrown at them. So, this is, and it was particularly vicious. Second, we need to remember that we're in a very unique position in India. There is a difference between the Shia and the Sunni out here. You look at my friend Tehseen's community, they are probably the most progressive community. I'm not surprised that his mother goes and cleans a temple, because that family is one of the most progressive families in one of the most progressive sects of Islam that we have. The issue is very specifically Sunni families who are stuck since 1857 in an absolutely rapine feudal power structure which has not modernized in the last 150-200 years, which is exactly the same as the Pakistani elite complex that you see across the border. So what is Modi doing? He is delivering, and this is why the budget got reduced, because the budget given to the minority ministry does not mean the money spent on minorities. Please remember that. That money was spent separately on education schemes, on electrification, on building toilets, etc., 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 where the community then gets its due from the government and does not have to go through all kinds of middlemen who essentially weaponize and politicize the delivery of goods and services to average Muslims on the ground. Now,
average Muslims on the ground, Abhijit, I'm completely out of time, but the question is, the average Muslim on the ground, does he not see the magic that is happening in the Middle East? Is this only happening in the Middle East? Are these people in the Middle East not connected to families in India? And does this mean that the Prime Minister actually is showering his love to those who are in the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in Qatar, but doesn't really care about those families which are back home in India? Well, it is something that requires some soul searching, but if you're looking for 2-minute politics, obviously the all-around development and care that has gone into every citizen of India, regardless of his religion, is something that politicians will always be in denial of. But is the public in India in denial? That's the question that needs answering. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on the News Hour tonight. We'll take a short break. On the other side, much more on the significance of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UAE, coming up after this very short break.